Hello, everyone. How are you? I just saw the movie Weapons. What a movie! What a picture! It's funny because I saw it the right way. I didn't know a damn thing about it. I knew that Zach Kreger made it, and that's all I needed to know. Now, I love Zach Kreger. I love Zach Kreger because I was, back in the day, a huge Whitest Kids You Know fan. I still am a fan. I love their stuff. And Zach was sort of like the number two. I mean, Whitest Kids, unlike other comedy troupes that really were an ensemble. No disrespect to other guys in the group, but it was Trevor Moore was the guy, and everybody else was kind of fighting for second place. Zach and Timmy, who's rules, and the other guys. I forget their names, but they were great. They were all great, and then Barbarian came out, and people are like, this guy's making a horror picture, but his comedy chops are in there. That's why he's so talented. And this movie is just it's so good. I mean, I just saw it, so I'm flying high. But it's compared to such the modern horror stuff right now that gets a wide release. It's the Blumhouse jump scare factory stuff, which some of it's better than others. I mean, the one with Kurt Russell's son and the killer swimming pool, I really did love that for God knows why. But most of those are, like during when at Weapons tonight, that one of the trailers was yet another Conjuring movie. And just give me a break, they're just and the Conjuring and the Insidious, which are indecipherable to me at this point. They don't have the juice for me. And then you got Oswald Perkins and Long Legs, which came out. I think that was still this year, or maybe that was like February or something. And it's got all the tone, it's got all the vibe, but there's not really anything under the hood. I find Weapons is the real deal. It's a real funny script. It's a clever script. It all comes together like it's original. The movie I was thinking about when I was coming out of it, like, what do I? It's not as good as this. Let's not get carried away. But it's like a Rosemary's Baby type of approach to making a horror film. I mean, now Rosemary's Baby's way up high on Mount Olympus, and this is not that movie. But there are parts of it that are just really. The characters are great. The performance is great. The camera work is terrific. The music is good. The sound design, great use of silence, which was annoying only because the theater I saw it at next door, I think they must have had Superman or something, because there was occasional sound bleed between the two. But in a way, I kind of found that funny. In a way, it made it scarier because there's a lot of good silence in Weapons. So, yeah, what a joy to see something this thrilling. I'm just kind of over the moon about it. The ending just was giddy at just how it all tied together. It stuck the landing, as they say, but didn't bog me down in lore or anything. I mean, they give you just enough to take it and figure it out for yourself. And the performance is great. I love Julia Garner. I should see more Julia Garner work. I am a stan, because I loved her in the Australian horror movie called the Royal Hotel. I don't know if that's a horror movie. Yeah, it's a horror movie. And I'm looking at her other, like I did see. I'm looking at her credits right now. So I've never seen like all the TV stuff she's famous for. I've never seen. She had a recurring role in The Americans, which I hear is great. I never saw it. She was the lead on Ozark. Now, who would ever know such a thing? And then there's other stuff. She was in Inventing, which I heard was good, but I didn't see that. So that's all on me. Dirty John. I never heard of Dirty John. What the hell's Dirty John? It was on Bravo. And then I'm looking at her movie credits, and like I saw some of these movies, but I didn't really clock her. I saw Martha Marcy May Marlene 12 years ago, or whatever it was, 13 years ago. Perks of Being a Wallflower, I saw that too. Oh, she was in the second Sin City. Not as bad as, not the world's worst movie. Not great. She was in The Assistant, which I didn't see. I heard that was good. Um, What is Apartment 7A? Oh, isn't that funny? Wait, Apartment 7A is the Rosemary's Baby prequel. Oh, and she's the lead. Hey, look at that. Look what I just did. I did not know that. Wait, she's in Fantastic Four? Oh, she's the Silver Surfer. Who would know? She's in Silver the whole time. I wonder if that was the movie that was playing next door that was interrupting tonight. It could have been. It was either that or Superman or maybe Jurassic World. Isn't that funny? Well, look at that. I have no real memory of. I mean, I sort of enjoy. The best thing about Fantastic Four was like the couches and the record players and the lighting. It was not the movie. But I remember there being a Silver Surfer, a woman Silver Surfer, a Silver Surferette, and she surfed and spoke her language, spoke her tongue. Kind of a blur. That movie does not really stick to the ribs. Although I enjoyed it, and it's certainly better than Thunderbolts. But so of the seasons superhero movies, Superman is superior. Okay, so weapons. Yeah, that's. I mean, this. I have nothing really. I have no insight into this other than it's great. Benedict Wong kills in this as the just. What kind of accent is he doing? It's so good, and his husband. Those scenes were just handled so well. What a picture. It's a delight. It's a delight to see an original thing that hopefully will make a lot of money. I mean, I saw it Thursday at 8 p.m. and out here in central New Jersey, and the audience was. It's funny during the trailers. There were I would have like three 18, 19-year-old kids behind me, and they were talking a lot during the trailers, and they were talking like 19-year-olds from central New Jersey talking, fucking I told her, yo, fucking, and I was like, oh Christ, am I gonna like they gonna talk the whole movie? I was looking around, should I go up to the front row? um and then, but once it started, everybody was locked in. Everybody was locked in. Silence where there was supposed to be silence, nervous titters where there was supposed to be nervous titters, and then at the end, just glee because the movie explodes at the end. So that's great for Zach Kreger. It's funny. I mentioned the trailers. We saw the Conjuring trailer, terrible. We saw the new Darren Aronofsky trailer, which I've seen before. It looks bland. Like like I have very limited interest in seeing that. And I kind of love Darren Aronofsky. I thought Mother. I'm a Mother supporter. I will defend Noah. I only saw it the one time, but I was coming out of that swinging, and everybody hated that. I thought it was good, and certainly his classics, Requiem for a Dream and Pie and all that. And the Fountain. I think I liked Darren Aronofsky. But The Whale just like did not work for me. Um, and this looks bad. It just looks straight up bad. So what happened to that guy? And then the other thing, now it's just a trailer. Now you don't know from trailers, but there's two trailers floating around for the new P.T. Anderson, which is called One Battle After Another, I think is what it's called. And neither of those trailers really. Now it's just a trailer, and I know it's based on Pynchon's Vineland, which I have a copy of. I'm going to be reading between now and when the movie comes out. And I trust P.T. Anderson. He's never made a bad movie. He's only made very good and terrific. The trailers don't look great to me. There was one tonight that was, I guess, the Red Band trailer, and then I saw before Naked Gun a couple of days ago when I saw Naked Gun. They had a more PG friendly trailer. Neither of that juiced the audience, and it didn't juice me. And the reason I'm bringing this up is Darren Aronofsky, P.T. Anderson, the big ass auteurs of American film currently. Zach Kreger. Zach Kreger's the king. Right now, I race. I'm whatever Kreger is serving, I'm gobbling up. What was funny was when the movie ended. I went by myself fairly late at night. Movie started at 8. Well, supposed to start at 8. It actually started at 8:30. And then I got out of the theater and I was by myself and I had to drive myself home. And not a spoiler, but there's a part in the movie, as there are in many horror movies, where somebody's in a car and doesn't know the bad guys behind them. And I'm driving home, and I, by the way, I'm not really a driver. This is a topic for another day. Um, I don't really drive. I technically should not be allowed to drive. I have a license, so legally I drive, but I don't really know how to drive. But the theater's very close. It's really very close. And at night, there aren't too many other cars on the road. But I went by myself. I did a test run with my wife because I wanted to see Weapons tonight. So 2 days ago, I said, will you sit in the passenger seat and let me drive myself to the theater and back? And which takes 2 minutes. It's very close. Anyway, so I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. My point is this. I'm driving back and I'm nervous. No music, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Really, really, really a good driver. And I felt the villain behind me because in the movie the villain is behind her when she's in the car, and I got the tension. I felt it. I felt it in the back of my head. I felt it in my spine. So if that does, like, I part of me was like, I want to pull over and check. I'm alone in the car. That's a sign of a good motion picture. Now, I didn't just see Weapons today. Oh no, today was a big day for Hoffman. I saw a movie called War of the Worlds. War of the Worlds, you say? The George Pal, 1953? No. The Steven Spielberg, 2005? No. Oh, did you see a concert version of Jeff Wayne's 1973 prog rock double album, The War of the Worlds? No, not that either. Did you watch a YouTube upload of the Orson Welles Mercury Theater with just the dialogue flying by as they talked? The Theater of the Mind? No, 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 no. I watched the new Rich Lee, which is his name, director, first time director of feature films. God, I hope it's not his last. He made a movie called War of the Worlds. It came out a few days ago, but it really wasn't until yesterday that people started realizing what a thing that it was. Um, and what did it was, I have mixed feelings about this, and I wrote about this today for an article. The movie had, past tense because I broke the spell, had a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that's what got the story buzzing. Mainstream press covered that. The Guardian covered it, and other places. And it's got a when something's got a 0%, and then what happened was people were shitting on the movie because it's a total piece of garbage, and Cube's son clapped back on social media at somebody and said, "Hey, my pops made that." He didn't say this, but my pops made that during the pandemic. Leave him alone. Um, the new War of the Worlds is absolutely hilarious. It's one of those movies where it's all set on the computer screen. The Timur Bekmambetov is one of the producers, and he didn't create this, but he sort of popularized doing that with the film Searching, and he did a few others. Um, I listen. I'm not gonna. The log line is Ice Cube works for the Department of Homeland Security. He's at his computer. He spends most of the time actually spying on his kids and yelling at his daughter that she's not eating right, and get off the damn gaming console at his son. Pull up your pants, all that nonsense, and then the aliens invade, and he's like, "What?" And then he's like texting with the president and so he's not that he zooms with the president. He's texting at the head of Homeland Security, his boss, Zach. What is his name? Clark Gregg. Who. And what else can I tell you? It's just, oh my God, it's just so stupid that you have to see it. It's just a marvelous piece of work, and Ice Cube has lines like, "Yeah, take that, get your ass back to your own galaxy," or something like that. It's just, and then of course it's an Amazon Prime movie, and there's so much Amazon Prime product placement, or not just product, like just philosophy. Like the good guy. There's this kid. I don't know the actor's name. Devon Bostick. I probably got his name wrong. I apologize to him. He made this movie 5 years ago. He shouldn't be. Devon Bostick is his name. God bless the guy. What else has he been in? He was in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. He is he the titular Wimpy Kid? He was in The Naked Mile, for God's sakes. All right. Well, look, he was in Oppenheimer. All right, so he's made good movies. He played Seth Henry Nettermeyer in Oppenheimer. He played one of the 75 white guys in Oppenheimer. Him and Jack Quaid and everybody else gets one line. This guy Devin Bostick is like diet Pete Davidson. I mean, it's just embarrassing. It's like, we can't get Pete Davidson. Can we get somebody who can kind of pretend to be Pete Davidson? Aye, aye, sir. And he's an Amazon delivery guy, even though he's stooping Ice Cube's daughter and getting her pregnant, and Ice Cube is not fond of him. But he saves the day with Amazon products. He uses his Amazon, and they mention Amazon like so many times in it. Like Ice Cube is mad at, I'll spoil it. Clark Gregg is the bad guy, and and he's like, his surveillance is out of control. He goes, "Damn it, you put the fate of the world at risk because you wanted to see what was in people's Amazon carts." He says this twice. It's incredible. And then Diet Pete Davidson saves the day by using an Amazon drone, and he's in the Amazon um vest the whole time. Oh God, it's so good. It's so stupid. I loved it. I thought it was a great cheesy B movie, and it got a 0% Rotten Tomatoes. That's what. But the thing is that that's what got people. That's what got me watching it. Like it's a bad movie, but it's not that bad. The thing is, of course, as you know, Rotten Tomatoes is a binary thing. It's up or down. So if a movie's a piece of shit, you go, yeah, it's bad. All right, negative on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, but like, I could see people being kind of on this. This happens on the other side. Like a movie's like, whoa, it's got a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes. Really? Well, if it was done by the star system, they'd all be 3 out of 5. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but like something that's kind of middling. Oswald Perkins's Longlegs. I bet you that's got a really good Rotten Tomatoes because it's kind of interesting, and you're like, all right, I guess when you as someone who writes movie reviews and then oftentimes submits them to Rotten Tomatoes myself, or they do it depending on the outlet, which maybe people will be interested to know how that works. I'm Googling this. All right, so Oswald Perkins Longlegs has an 85%. Now, it's not that high. I mean, it's not in the 90s, but it's still pretty good. But I suspect that most of the people who gave that the fresh were kind of like, it doesn't really make much sense, but, Nick Cage screams like a banshee, and it's got a lot of vibes, and the lighting is cool, so sure, it's a plus. That's how it works for Rotten Tomatoes. Now, anywho, it got a 0 because not that many people reviewed it. It was only like 18, 19 people reviewed it because it was like one of 1,000 movies that comes out on streaming that nobody's got their eye on. Where The World's a big property, but like you see, it's one of those screen movies, and it's Ice Cube, and it was made 5 years ago. Like it was not on my radar. I have a pretty good sense of what's coming out. I don't see everything for sure. I haven't watched Ozark with my girlfriend Julia Garner. Maybe I should watch Ozark. Which one of the services is that on? Ozark was on from 2017 to 2022. That's a nice run. And it was on Netflix. I have Netflix. That's the next one I watch is Ozark because I love her. She should be in a movie with my other girlfriend, Ren Schmidt, and Ren Schmidt should play her older sister, and that would be great. I'm calling. If I was the producer, I would make that happen. Well, anyway, that's my review of War of the Worlds 2025. I've been talking now for close to 20 minutes. So yeah, I live in central New Jersey now. The house is not put together. We moved less than like 10 days ago or so. I'm not in my office right now because my office is the room we're doing last. So that's sort of a mess. But so I'm not going to as many press screenings, but I'm going to see Weapons with the people. You know, it was great. I got the A list because the theater that's right near me is the AMC. There's another theater that's not as close, it's closer to the beach, which is an AMC with the IMAX. So I'll be going to the IMAX. That one's a little bit of a drive. But it's nice to be by the beach. So yeah, Central New Jersey. I'm going to be a little vague on the exact town because I don't want my haters to come stalk me. But I'm sort of parallel. If you go east from where I am, you'll be in the nice hamlet of Princeton, and it's a very famous town. And if you go west, no, I did it backwards. If you go west from where I am, you go to Princeton. If you go east toward the water, you'll be in Asbury Park. I'm sort of in between, and it's a great place to be. And I don't live in New York City anymore, and that's just the way it is. And did live there, of course, for 30 something years. I used to be a New York City tour guide. So New York is very much part of my life, but this is a new chapter, and so far, a great chapter. And for reasons that have nothing to do with either Ice Cube's War of the Worlds or weapons. So that's my talk. More updates to come, more writing to come, but also videos. I don't know. What do the people like? If you like videos, let me know. This is a long one, but people watch these videos all the time. These podcasts, everybody's got a podcast. If you were on a television show in the 1990s that no one's thought about for 15 years, you have a podcast. It's ridiculous. It's shocking how many podcasts there are hosted by the cast members of Boy Meets World, Melrose Place, Charmed. I don't even really know what Charmed is. Tori Spelling. Now, I don't necessarily, just because you were an actor in the 90s doesn't mean you're then haven't done much late. Oh, you know who and Kristin Davis, who's a joy. Tori Spelling is someone I've really never thought about my entire life. I never watched 90210, and I know that she's Aaron Spelling's daughter and the Love Boat and all that. She is the stupidest person on the planet. I have never heard a stupider person than Tori Spelling. Why am I listening to 90s podcasts? I cannot divulge this information. I can tell you that if you must listen to a podcast from a 90s star, although she's more of an aughts star, it's my girlfriend Kristin Davis, who I would take a bullet for. She's fantastic. I've never seen. This is weird. This is like almost crazy, but I've never actually seen an episode of Sex in the City. I didn't have HBO when it was on, and I was living life. I was doing my thing. Hey, I was having sex in the city during Sex and the City. I was too busy. I wasn't gonna watch it. I was gonna do it. So I never saw the show, and but the contours of my life, which are so unpredictable, have thrusted me in a direction where I now am intimate with Kristin Davis's podcast. Don't ask. Don't ask. There are some parts of my there's some aspects to my world that must remain a mystery. She's so funny. I don't know if she knows how funny she like. Obviously, she does. She's doing a character when she's on the mic, as they say. But she is a great light in my life right now, which is something that I would not have predicted uh, 8 months ago. I maybe, if you had held a gun to my head and said name the four women from Sex and the City, I'd of course say Sarah Jessica Parker. I would then say the almost governor of New York, Cynthia Nixon. Then, of course, I would say Kim Cattrall because I know her mostly as a Vulcan from Star Trek Six. And then I would totally blank on the fourth one because she's not as famous as the other three. But boy, let me tell you, life can be unpredictable. Life can be really unpredictable. I'll talk to you soon.